Welcome to Super Dave's Ultimate Guide to Ark Survival. This is a tutorial or a helpful tips and tricks for those who are new to Ark and also for the hardened veterans. Hope you enjoy the video. This is a quick message before the video begins. I would like to ask you to make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Welcome back, everyone. This is Super Dave, and I'm back on the Ultimate Guide to Ark Survival Evolved. This is probably going to be episode 7. And, well, today is basically a simple, basically, how do you determine a good spot for your base? And by that, I mean a good spot for a permanent base. That's unusual. But, yeah, I mean your permanent base, you want to determine what's a good spot, all the different factors of what's needed for it. I'm still over here on Valguero, and usually some of the best factors to determine whether to build a base, and I'll use this base area as an example. Basically, it's an area, you want it flat. It doesn't have to be flat, but because you could use like pillars and stuff, but flat's usually pretty simple. Safe is usually an interesting one as well. Safe from large carnivores and stuff. Also nearby water and resources. As you can see, this base is actually really close to water. There's this water here. There's also another lake just right over there, and a lake right over here. Resources, you want to be around some pretty handy resources for you to thrive on your, permanent base location. You want a good area where there's a lot of stone, flint, metal, crystal, obsidian, wood, plants to harvest berries and stuff, and fiber. As you can see, this is also a pretty good spot. Seeds, trees, a lot of rocks, and there's also metal on this mountain here. There's also some metal over here on this cliff too. Yeah, right here, some metal, and I also believe there's crystal. Yeah, there's some crystal. All that stuff doesn't have to be necessary, but being around at least metal is handy. Definitely rocks, trees, water. Water's always a must, so you can have like crops and stuff. Let's see. You want a pretty good area. As far as I'm concerned, this is one of my favorite spots. It's pretty barren. It mainly just had like herbivore creatures. Even that mountain is pretty safe. As far as I know, there's not really anything that spawns on that mountain. I'll show it on the map here. It's right here on Valguero. But I guess I could also show some other good examples. Let's see here. Let me go up this way. And it's basically the way it can be determined on all maps. This is basically the way I say you want kind of a flat area. It doesn't have to be flat, but you want water, a decent amount of water, and some, general resources nearby. Like metal, stone, wood. If crystal and obsidian and stuff is nearby, that's great too. Let's see. Like waterfalls, like this is always a good spot. You can even build it in the thing, or you use cliff platforms. You could build your base in the redwoods. Use a tree platform. Make yourself a giant tree house. Let's see. Quetzal up there. But yeah, always keep an eye on where you build. Make sure it's not in an area where large carnivores. I know, like this area, it looks actually like a pretty nice area, even with those ruins. But I believe gigas do spawn over around here. Also Argies and stuff too. Can be a bit of pain. I believe also sabers. So you want to kind of steer clear a lot of dangerous areas. You could also, like I said, best resources, at least metal. You'd want it in an area that's pretty close to metal, stone, and wood. Your primary resources, and water, so you can do crops and stuff. Even like this little hidden area right here would be kind of a neat place to have a little base. I mean, if you think you're in an area that's actually dangerous, you could always wall it up. Walling it up is a little bit of a pain, but it's an option. Let's see. Sometimes maybe like little cave or cavern areas, little hidey holes can work too. But usually my favorites are out in the open, where they're kind of like scenic stuff, kind of interesting areas. I know, like on Valguero, there's a lot of building areas. This is probably one of the best maps to build bases on. So, or you could even, since water platforms are now a thing since Genesis Part 2, you can build yourself a little water base. Try to maybe more out in the middle part, because I do know Spinos do spawn, especially in this spot. You don't have to really worry about other stuff. But, yeah, and then, like I said, this basically regards to all maps. Just kind of watch for your surroundings. Make sure they're... Basically scout the area. Make sure there's nothing too dangerous and it has a decent amount of resources. I'm going over here to the Chalk Cliffs area, which is also an interesting spot. Or even this little pointy spire mountain thing. This would be a cool one too. This area is pretty good too. Like I said, redwoods. Of course, it is kind of dangerous in the redwoods, but you can build yourself like a tree house, a tree platform. Build yourself a tree house. Over here, there are some dangerous spots with Deinonychus and stuff. But like I said, this is in all maps in general. Just, I know I've repeated this several times. Scout the area, find your resources. If they're pretty nearby, then it'd be a good base. If you feel there are carnivores, but you don't really want to pick anywhere, just wall it up. Like, here's a good spot. You can just make yourself a nice little walled up base right here, or even by this cliff. But yeah, all this is like free range. I mean, whether you're on a server or you're playing single player, just, I know usually on busy servers, a lot of good places might be taken over, but yeah, just like find places that are near pretty good resources and then start building a house or something. But yeah, that's about it for how to determine your base location. So, but yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.